background about myself. I've been working as a iOS developer since last 10 years. And in this long journey, I have worked with Objective-C, Swift, and SwiftWay also. In my career, I have worked with the social media application, security-related application, where I have covered the VAPT analysis and then figure out what fixes is needed in the apps to make sure it is 100% secure. Apart from that, I have worked with the medical sector, I have worked with the automobile sector, and currently I'm working with the VitalEdge as a mobile head where I'm leading iOS and Android department. And my core responsibility includes customer communication, timely delivery of all the products, and also I'm working closely with Apple and Google for ABM and Google Private Play Store. So, and well, I don't know if you guys know about ABM or not, but ABM is a platform provided by Apple that is used for B2B application distribution privately. And to do that, we need to have certain configuration in place, and we just need to follow the Apple guidelines. So that's it. That was a very short intro about me. Okay. So before we begin the session, I'm sure everyone who has joined the call are relevant to the development field at some point. So has anyone checked out what is Apple Intelligence, how it is built, or what was the reason behind Apple for initiating this? I know people could be shy, so I don't expect many people to respond in the call. Still, I'm gonna try my luck. Okay. I got it.
I don't think they would have been able to compete in the phone market, or they would have taken a huge hit if they didn't implement some sort of AI.
That makes sense, but that's not the whole truth. There was some rumors that Apple is not gonna create their own AI. They're gonna just use the open AI at the back door. And I recollect Elon Musk putting some tweets on that to just boost the rumor. But that's not 100% true. Apple has tied up with OpenAI for additional services that would be based on ChatGPT and for additional language-based model training purpose. But the Apple Intelligence, it's core built by Apple. It's not that much powerful. It is not in competition at all with ChatGPT, but this is like Apple's initiative, or I would say Apple is just about to step into the world of AI. And if I study the market, Apple is years behind from the OpenAI because the Apple Intelligence is gonna just do the basic stuff. It is not designed to do the advanced level stuff. I'll try to cover that in my presentation, that why Apple is not that much good into the AI, but I think I try to answer your questions. Was this? This was Jin.
I guess they have also added some local intelligence, right? Some AI operations are being performed locally as well. Not everything is exported to OpenAI.
Yes. So if we distribute the OpenAI from that word, then the Apple Intelligence that we have today would work on two approach. First, it will work on locally on your device with the help of neural network and the core ML framework, and the rest of the operations that needs high amount of computation power could be done on Apple's cloud. But again, that's just a theory. Once the iOS 18.1 is finally rolled out, and once the Apple Intelligence is in market for reviewer, we would be able to know how much efficient it is. As of now, very limited support of that is available in the market. And for developers, it looks like there's no support at all. You don't see anything on the documentation fruitful. If you can just visit the Apple document, you can see some code that says it will do the writing correction, it will do the Genmoji, but when you try to actually copy and run into your machine, it will not give you the proper output. So to me, or I would say in my opinion, it looks like Apple has just started the conversation of entering into the world of AI, and slowly they will try to just increase their feathers. Okay. Hashit, I could not hear you. Okay. Okay, you got it. Thanks. So I think this is time for me to, jump into the presentation. Just give me a minute to pull up my screen and I bring up the presentation. So everyone, do you have visual to my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So first, I'm gonna start with some basic definition, or I would say the theory that will give us some insight on Apple intelligence workflow. And slowly, I would try to cover practical areas. So first of all, AI is gonna be there for everyone, starting from iPhone 15 Pro to 16 and 16 Pro series. But again, the question is, what is an AI? So if we go back to the 5 years, there was a hype in the market of the AI. Everybody was trying to get into the AI. I still remember there was thousands of startups wanted to get their hands dirty on the AI and believe that they would be millionaire in next 5 years, but that did not happen. AI progressed really good in the market, but not in the way it was expected. I still recollect on the pandemic that the OpenAI was just doing the R&Ds on the AI, and there was other multi-billionaire companies wanted to get into the AI and build the robot solution, but I don't see that's taking place till 2050. So let's see what is an AI. So if you ask me as a person that what is AI, I would say it's just a software. It has its own intelligence. So it could be used to do certain item that you don't need to do. As of now, in market, everybody is focusing to build AI powered application that could be helpful to you for doing some certain task. But if you ask me, I don't want AI to help me to create my presentation. I don't want AI to help me to build my YouTube. I want AI to do my laundry and my cooking so that I can focus on my work. But I don't think people are focusing on that because there is no business in that. So let's get back to the topic. AI is basically a suite of the machine learning and artificial intelligence technologies integrated across Apple's ecosystem. And this could be used with the Siri, Photos app, search capabilities, Face ID, etc., etc. Okay. And my next point is why Apple Intelligence. So to answer this, the best thing would be the privacy. With Apple Intelligence, Apple has given us two approaches. First, you could do all of your AI in your hardware only, eliminating the support of the cloud. So it's like if I want to do some email draft, or I want to rewrite my essay, or I want to send email to my boss for resignation, but I don't know how to do. So I can send that prompt to my AI, and my AI will do it for me, but without communicating to the cloud. So it means the data, the prompt that I have sent to the AI will not transfer to my cloud, making my data more private and secure. Now, how does this happens on Apple? So with the help of with the help of the AI, Apple has added the hardware and the neural network in code of its motherboard, which could be used to do the computing for all of the data requests of AI. That's why Apple Intelligence would be able to do the AI processing on device itself. However, it is not 100% practical. For certain cases, you may need to go with the cloud related AI stuff. But again, that is user preferred. So you just need to go to the phone, and if you want to do some cloud-based AI, you can enable that option. But for now, this is like mostly user front. It does not have anything to do with the developer stuff. Again, thus I'm rewriting the script on device processing for the better privacy, seamless integration with all the Apple products such as iPhone, iPad, Mac, and Watch. But the question arises, what about Vision Pro? So if you have seen the Apple's event this year, they did not announce anything for Vision Pro. Even they did not highlight any new color, any new upgrade coming up to Vision Pro. So I'm expecting that something will come out at the end of the year with AI and Vision Pro. So that could be the game-changing strategy for Apple. And next, the enhanced user experience. It's same as where other vendors are doing through the AI-powered features like predictive text, image recognition, and Siri. Moving to the next. Okay. So main thing is what benefit does it brings? So first, privacy and security. I believe I have already discussed this, but let me just read it in terms of theory. Apple's approach to the on-device learning ensure that user data is stored completely on your phone, making you more secure. Now, the second point, it says performance efficiency. I have taken this out from the Apple's documentation and I have some doubts on this. Apple is claiming that if you're using a device which has Apple silicon chips, it means either you're, this is only applicable for the MacBook, okay? So it says it has performance efficiency, but I completely doubt that running AI in your hardware is going to be extremely exhausting, and I don't see performance efficiency coming in the picture. It will need an enormous amount of power. So whenever you run AI in your phone, make sure you have enough battery. The next is a personalized experience. This could be good. As you know, Siri would be able to do much more things than earlier. With the AI coming out, I can ask Siri that, hey Siri, please pull up my email which says I have a date with my wife coming Saturday. So Siri can do that for me. I can also ask Siri to please bring up an image for me, which has a Taj Mahal in the background. So Siri can do that for me. This information I have gathered from Apple's documentation as well as some of my internal lead from the Apple resource. So we'll have to wait till the end of the year to actually use all the features. And now main thing is with iPhone 16 coming out, it is possible for you to erase a person from the picture. Earlier, Google has announced this in their Pixel that if you are capturing image with 5 to 6 people, then you have capability to remove some of the person if you don't want to. Now the same is available in iPhone 16 itself. Again, as per my best knowledge, I think those AI feature would be only applicable, or I would say available in iPhone 16 and 16 up. You cannot use that in simulator. I tried to replicate something in my simulator, but it was not rendering properly. So I believe simulator will not have any of the access to AI. But if Apple wants to do, they can do that because ultimately simulator is working my MacBook's hardware. I think someone was having any questions, right?
One correction I want to make, iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will also be able to get the Apple Intelligence.
No, you are completely right. The Apple Intelligence would be there for 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and 16 family. But you know, that image erase feature that Apple has just announced, okay? I think that may not be available for iPhone 15 Pro. I could be wrong because I don't have 15 Pro, so I have not checked, but this could be happening. But you know, as you say, it's correction. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Anything else from anyone? Okay, we are good. So next is accessibility. AI improves accessibility through the features like voiceover, image recognition, assistive touch, and the making Apple device more inclusive. And you know, if you're working with innovative sector, then I think it's gonna be really good for you. You would be able to leverage core ML and the create ML in more detailed manner now. And you can also use your core ML to train models on the Apple's iPhone itself. Yes, that is possible. There are some classes that are coming out with Xcode 16.1 beta that could be used to train the model on device. So next, this is more like user related information. With AI, I could prioritize my notification, so I don't need to go into the detail. For example, we can see that Isabella has sent some text to the person, so that person do not have to open all the text. Sorry, open the text and go through all the letters. AI will give exact word to that guy, so that guy can see what is the subject of the email. Next is a priority inbox. This is still similar to the priority notifications. And people are, and it's gonna be a new era for Siri. I don't know if everyone is using Siri or not, but personally, I do not use Siri at all. But if you are a, what would I say? How do I put this in the front? Okay. If you are a frequent user of the iPhone, and if you prefer using Siri, then I think Apple AI could be good for you, so that because you will just able to give all the commands to Siri, and Siri would be able to do all the jobs for you. As of now, Siri was just a voice assistant. You were asking query to Siri, Siri will go to the Safari and get the information for you. But now Siri is going to the next level, allowing you to select the pictures, allowing you to draft the email, allowing you to even reply to some person on the Apple's message application. These capabilities would be later added to the all other features, maybe in 18.2 or 18.3. And the last is delightful images just created for you. So with with AI prompt, you could create images. I think that's a common job that every AI is doing nowadays. You can do that with Copilot. You can do that with the Stable Diffusion. You can do that with the Microsoft Teams assistant also. So I think that's in common now. Moving on to the next. So AI would be available from iOS 18, and these are the list of the devices that will have support to the AI, starting with iPhone 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and all the series of iPhone 16. Okay. So now main thing comes up. What's in for developers? Now, as a being developer, I'm like, I got it. This is good. But what's in for me? How am I gonna make money from that? So that's the main point. So let's see how Apple AI could be useful to us. So the first thing is, this is only available in beta. If you want your hands get that in AI, you can shift to the Xcode 16.1 beta for now. Now, let's move on to the next. So Core ML would be able to allow you to integrate pre-trained AI model into application. Now, what does this mean? What does the statement means by pre-trained AI models? So the thing is, there are many tools available in the market which could be used to train ML models for you. If you are aware with the Python, you can, you can use Python's open source script to train your model for any information, and that you can embed that model inside your Xcode project. And with help of Core ML, you can integrate that model with your application. So, but how it will work? So now let me give you some example. If you want to train a model for your help and support, okay, so that you can define bunch of prompt that would be used by a customer, like where is my order, I got very bad order, my order is still in the shipping, or I'm unable to use the order properly. So you can feed all the prompt, and then you can give it to your model, and then you need to give them some questions in relation with the prompt. So AI will do that iteration maybe for millions of time, and whatever the data they are finding, they would put inside the model. Now this model training will not work only with the cloud. It will also need reference of the language model, so that it can learn how people could iterate that problem. And based on all the learning, the model would be trained, and then we can integrate that model inside iOS application, and then it can do the job. Uh, I know this because couple of months back I've been working with some AI to train model for me, and my goal was to integrate that model into my machine, but I could not do that due to the other priorities. But that's possible. So moving on, with Core ML, you can use any kind of third-party models and integrate that with your application. It supports various type of model, for example, textual, image, and audio classification. Now, integrating textual model with Core ML is easiest, I would say. Image is a bit complicated, and audio classification could be complex if you do not know the basics. Now, efficient and optimized on-device processing. It means your model is ready, and the user would be giving data, so you will have the prompt. And then using your Core ML, all the processing would take place on device. If you want to switch it to the cloud, you can do that. Okay, and then we also have one more component called Create ML. It means it will help you to simplify the process of building ML models with no code or low code environment. Again, this is just a theoretical statement. We will have to wait until the final version rolls out so that we can actually test Create ML. Now the next is Vision Framework. Developer can implement powerful image recognition and analysis in their application. So Vision Framework has been out since last 2 to 3 years. There is no significant change in the APIs of the framework, but it looks like the efficiency and the accuracy of Vision Framework would get improved with AI. And next one is my favorite because it does natural language processing. With natural language process, Apple AI has some of its own inbuilt. Sorry. Okay. With natural language, Apple provides pre-built models for language processing tasks such as tokenization, lemmatized identification, and name by entity recognition. So what does this mean? So, if we take example of tokenization, if I'm sending one prompt to my iPhone saying that, hey, my name is Pulkit, I want an email draft to send to my boss. So it will divide everyone. It will, retrieve all the words like, hey, my name is Pulkit. And according to the data, it will do the lemmatization. So, that is, I would say, a step-by-step process of fetching the data, understanding data, and then processing it for machines. And the next is a sound analysis. The framework will detect sound patterns and event to trigger an action in the app. So if you have seen the Apple's event this year, then they highlighted the noise cancellation in airports, where people were actually attending the concert, but the noise cancellation is powered by AI. So it will learn if the noise coming from outside is getting increased, then it will start enhancing the noise cancellation. So that's that works based on the sound analysis. Any questions till now?
Pulkit, we have a question in chat. So can you please answer it?
Just a minute. Okay, so first, can we ask the question when the presentation is on? Yes, you can ask the question at the end of presentation also, but if you have any question in between, do let me know. I'll try my best to answer it. Can we already use Core ML? Is the API comparable to OpenAI? So I don't understand the meaning, so what comparable here, but in my best of knowledge, Core ML could be used with third-party APIs, or I would recommend you to get the model which is trained by the OpenAI's data packs, and then integrate that in application with the help of Core ML. But as long as this appears to be possible to me. Oh my God, he just answered that question. My bad, I'm reading comments one by one. The guy is awesome. Thanks for the compliment. Can we publish apps using Apple Intelligence to the App Store yet? No, that's not yet possible. Apple is about to roll out Apple Intelligence by the December. So once it is out, you can expect the revised guidelines for publishing apps. So I think you will be able to roll out your apps using AI by mid of January or so. Okay, I think uh, thanks, man. Jumping back to the presentation. Okay. So this is just like a high level overview of capability that would you get with AI. Siri with app intents. So as of now, app intents are still in the market. You can use Siri with your application. So send some instruction to the application and then it will work. Like I could enable the voice command and tell my apps to submit the request for me. And if my application has that capability, it will do that. But with the help of AI, the app intents would get more powerful. And you would be able to do some more thing, like you would be able to give some prompt to Siri that, hey Siri, please open WhatsApp and send text to my wife that I would be reaching late tonight. That is possible, or that would get possible once AI is out. But again, this is just a theory, so don't assume that it will be 100% true. We may get it a bit late in the year or maybe in mid of next year. And then Siri would be able to do a basic task for you, like you can ask her to get you the direction to your home. You can ask her to get you the direction to the nearby near the Mart. We can ask Siri to play the most famous playlist from Spotify. I can ask Siri that get me the ETA from my team member. So such tasks would get possible. Okay. Now this one is my favorite. We've been using emoji since years now, and emojis are like, the way of expressing yourself, especially when you are chatting with someone. So now Apple is introducing Genmoji. It means, you would be able to create your own emoji. You just need to give some text to your AI and it will render something for you. In my screen, you can see that the prompt is getting sent to the AI saying T-Rex wearing a tutu on the softboard. It looks really good and it's exciting for me. If I would be able to do it today, then I would definitely tell him to, get me some emoji of the guy playing Beyblade, playing Beyblade. So I would have done that. But still, Genmoji appears to be most exciting features to me. And I think, it would be easier for developers to integrate Genmoji in their. As of now, some of the class are already available in Xcode 16.1 beta that we can use to leverage Genmoji, but it does not support in simulator. So you will have to use the actual iPhone 16 device or 15 Pro device. Okay, I'm going to the next. This is also good. Till now we had a playground, but now we have image playground. So with image playground, you can use it to create a fun, playful images in your application like messages, notes, keynotes, page, and more. Using the image playground API, you would be able to add some more experience to your application and enable it to quickly integrate with your user. So I don't have much information about this as of now, but I believe Apple would be rolling out this with the developers soon so that we can integrate that with our application. If anyone is using with the design application, like, drawing something on canvas, then I think this would be really good for them. Okay. So now I'm moving to the bit architectural discussion here, like how Apple Intelligence is built. So it's built using main four aspects. First, on-device machine learning mechanism. Many feature will operate without the use of internet access. Yes, this is correct. The device would have power, and it is powered by the neural network. So it will have all the relevant data available in device. So it could do some basic or moderate level of tasks without the help of internet. And it will also, reduce the latency and give you the more quicker result. Second, uh, the Apple Silicon chips like M1, M2 are designed with a dedicated neural engine network. So I would say it's something that is more required to power your ML task. Now again, the question would be to you like, what is this neural engine? It is just bunch of the technical keyword. So if we talk a design of the motherboard, okay, so in a typical motherboard, we have a hard drive, we have a RAM, we have a processor, and we got some. Okay, just a minute. Okay, so okay, well, I'm sorry, I got some call from my friend and it got interrupted. So, in the basic motherboard, we have processor, hard drive, RAM, and the graphic card. And the neural network is, something similar to the our processor only. Inside our processor, it has some chips, okay? Like, as Apple is saying that they have built Apple chip. So that is a processor provided by the Apple. It has some of the cores of the neural network and that uses to power the AI. I know it's a bit difficult to understand. If anybody wants to get into that discussion, Arjun, you can let me know. We can have another separate session for all the technical specs of the ML and the processor that are being used with the Apple chips. I'm again going back to the AI. Now the last point is my favorite. Developers can train models using Apple's framework like Core ML or sorry, I don't see. Just a minute. Integrate the pre-trained models from the other ML tools like TensorFlow, PyTorch. Now, has anybody seen out the TensorFlow ever or used the TensorFlow in their career? Come on, I was at least expecting one of you to do that. No worries. The TensorFlow is a famous, I would say, the famous tool provided by the Google that most of the data scientists are using to train their models. PyTorch is also similar, but it's less popular than TensorFlow. Moving on to the next. So what we have discussed was how Apple Intelligence is built. Now let's see how it handles workflow. So first, it needs to collect the data because without data, nothing is possible. So data gathering from user interaction, like input from the user or prompt or giving some suggestion to user so that he can select. All those kind of strategies could be used to collect the data. For example, I could, have some bubbles popping up into my application saying user, hey, you're about to reach your destination. How did you like your ride? What was your experience? Do you like the food? So I could use all of those bubble prompts to collect the data. Once we have the data, we can use Create ML or Core ML to train the models. It involves feeding the systems with large amount of data. So as I had told earlier, we need to get the data and then feed it to the system. And once system has received all the resource, it can start training the models. Just a minute, guys. Okay. Now, the data plays a pivot role in this. If your data has ambiguity, or I would say your data has incorrect information, then the model would not be accurate. So it is more important for us to classify the data and then give it to the models. There are certain ways to do that. We can discuss that later. And for larger data sets, training may happen in cloud. This is indeed correct. The mobile devices are not capable of training the larger data sets. If I want to train the terabytes of data, I cannot do that on my iPhone. I would need a powerful server, certainly having 10 or 15,000 of core that could be used to do the processing for me 24/7. So that's it on the model training. Next, model deployment. So once you have data, once we have trained the model, now it is time for us to deploy the model. The trained models could be optimized, or you can directly integrate that in your iOS application without optimizing it. Yes, it is possible. It is like a developer's wish, whether they want to optimize the model or not. Same way, we don't optimize our code. At least I don't optimize my code. Okay. And then the next is that model could work in real time. It could work on the with the latency, or it could have a certain threshold on the operation queue. And the last point is on-device learning. Apple also enables on-device learning, where models can improve by learning from users' experience. So, this is not in control by the developers. This is controlled by AI itself. Uh, the way you are using your iPhone, the way you are using application, Apple's AI would be observing everything on the background. And it will generate a user behavior pattern. And according to that, it will suggest some prompt to your application. I think it was also possible earlier on days, like if you're using your iPhone with your car. So whenever you are connecting phone with your car, it will not only give you suggestion that your home is a certain kilometer away from your current location. Or if you are doing that in the morning, then it could tell you that your office is certain kilometer away from your current duration, and this is the real-time traffic update. So that was happening earlier just based on the user behavior model. Now user behavior model will work side by side with AI to enhance the user experience. Again, Apple is claiming that it is 100% secure and they are not stealing any of your data. But I doubt that, because they will need to get access to some of your data, certainly. Because without that, there's no way they can do this. Let's take a look about the background mechanism. First of all, what is a neural engine? So, as I told, it is a part of Apple silicon chip. It means the Apple chip is going to have small cores that could be identified as a neural engine. In easier terms, we used to have those Intel famous processor. You can see collect i3, i5, i7. So it had the core. So this is same. It's a physical, I would say the copper object that is placed on your CPU. And this will be used, this will use to train the machine learning models in real time. Now, the neural engine has power of handling 15.8 trillion operation per second in M1 chip for ML task. So it means if you are running on the MacBook that do not have M1 chip, then you would not be able to use this at all. Yes, that's again a drawback, I would say bummer. If you are running with Apple's MacBook Pro that do not have Apple Silicon, then you would not be able to leverage the AI. Again, the on-device processing is there with neural engine. This is same that we had discussed earlier. Privacy is first architecture. ML tasks like text prediction, facial recognition could happen directly on user's device. Data compression, compression is also there. It simply means that you would be able to use quantization technique of the data to compress the data. It means if you have bulk of the data, you can shrink that in 1000x ratio to save the device space. But again, re-extracting them from that zip size could take some time. Then we have differential privacy. This is, in my opinion, this is a bit tricky point, because Apple was telling us up to this day that we are 100% private. But when it comes to AI, it is like differential privacy. Apple uses this to collect usage data without identifying individual users. It means, like let's take example of the India, that maybe 10 million users in India are using iPhones. So data from all the users, like their sleeping cycle, their average usage of the day, Apple will definitely fetch that. and those are not directly related to user, so no one can have concern. And according to the data, Apple will train their models and it will make it more efficient. And then the last point is model retraining. Most of the data scientists are doing this now, because if I have trained my model only once, then there is very less possibilities for it to be more accurate. We need to keep training our model. It is like we need to keep giving support to the product. So that's the same as that. And this is, we are mostly done with the presentation. I'm just going to give you some technical overview. The neural network is a network provided by Apple that is used to leverage the convolutional neural network for image processing and recurrent neural network. So CNN and RNN are most famous networks that Apple will use to do the data processing over image and videos. Then we have Core ML that supports more than 30 ML model types like KNES, neighbors, decision tree, neural network, etc., etc. And then the next one is data flow optimization. Like it's simple that when you are working with the data, you need to have some of the performance shaders for your hardware accelerated tasks. It means you need to see what is happening at your performance level. This is very difficult for me to explain in this situation, this presentation. So I'm going to just give you overview about the data flow optimization. And the last one is security. So secure enclave helps in protecting sensitive information like Face ID scans, ensuring that the biometric data is never accessible outside the device. This is correct in my correct information from the Apple. They will never reveal our Face ID, or I would say the biometric data, to the cloud, because if they do, they would be in very bad situation with the FBI and government laws. So thanks everyone. I think this was the end of the presentation. If anyone has any question answer, we can do that now. Hello?
Pulkit, you may see some question in our chat.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you clearly.
Yeah, maybe you can see some question in chat.
Okay, got it. My favorite feature is that I'm expecting a spam call answering where AI picks up the call from unknown number and notifies me. This looks good to me. If Apple will ever build this up, I'll definitely let you know when. But I don't see this coming up in near future. Yes, at that point, AI will be calling AI. The Harshit was using it since beginning. Harshit, do let me know how I can use that. Okay. We are already working with Core ML, Create ML, Vision, and other for the specific task and features. But in case of integrate with Apple's AI or integrate with feature like Apple's AI in order to access with it, how we can interact with it, there is no detailed documentation. This is indeed correct. Apple has not rolled out any documentation till date. It's just bunch of codes that are not operating properly. So in this case, we should wait for a couple of more weeks for Apple to roll out the documentation. But what I would say, you can integrate your models with the code same way you used to do earlier. Once AI is out, I'm expecting we will get some prompt or we will get some capabilities inside Xcode to directly attach your model in relevant to your AI. And then you would be able to do the combined training or just flood your model with AI. If I mean, I understand there are very limited material available in the market now. But yesterday night, I came across one YouTube channel. They were just trying to figure it out how Xcode 16.1 works with AI. They were just trying to run the Genmoji properly, but they are unable to do that. But if you try to explore internet a bit, I'm sure you will find something useful. But as of now, it looks like we will have to wait for at least couple of more weeks for Apple to roll out proper documentation. Once the presentation is ended, I would showcase some of the links to you that you can use to review for the Apple AI. But those are not 100% accurate. Okay. Thanks, Canon. So any more questions?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So you said earlier that nobody can publish to the App Store yet, of course, until like maybe mid-January or something like that.
Yes, I'm anticipating Apple to roll out Apple Intelligence in mid of December. Okay, so once it's roll out, they will definitely post revised guidelines for app publishing. So I'm expecting that it will certainly take us couple of more weeks to do the publishing. But if Apple's roll out this before Christmas, then you may be able to do it by or before 31st December.
Mm-hmm. And then a follow-up question to that. Is there a way for any of us to see like any others' projects in the meantime? You know what I mean? Like I can come up with my own ideas, sure, but there are like 20 other people in here. Maybe they have their own ideas or projects or something. I don't know.
I think that would be good. We could have a healthy conversation. Anyone from meeting have any idea about AI or any projects that they would like to share? Okay. Let me share something from my side. This is not related to iOS at all. Last year, I developed my hobby for AI and I started exploring on that front. So I used the Stable Diffusion for a couple of weeks in my machine, which is an open source tool available in the market to train the models. And then I wanted to build something for me which I could sell in the world. So in today's market, support is very expensive, and technical support is a thing that everyone is looking out. So I want to build a chatbot, okay, that is powered by AI, and that could be able to receive the customer prompts, process the data, and send out the email and the WhatsApp chat to the targeted user. So I'm trying to build that. I started doing in my MacBook Pro, and I was just working with maybe I don't know exact number, but 2,000 or 3,000 prompts to train my model. But on the same time, my machine broke down, so I could not complete that. I had a Windows PC that broke down, and so that's still pending from mine. But I'm gonna complete that, maybe by next 2 to 3 months. So my plan is to build the model first, then I can leverage that and create a chatbot, and that could be helpful for me for generating some of the dollars. I mean, I'm very open. If I'm working very hard in something, then I'm expecting something in return, man. If this cannot generate dollars for me, then I'm not gonna do that. Okay. How about using AI in securing women from any attack on them? Okay. I mean, this is really good topic. Women's safety should be the major concern in most of the countries. We can certainly use AI, for that, but I think we will need to understand the use case first, because if any woman is traveling across the street, okay, then what we can do, if we can have some data that if that streets had any attack in past, or if that's an isolated way, or is it a crowded place. So if we have all those kind of data, we can used to identify that a road is a safer road for women or not. And that could be the first step for us to diving into the AI. But I think the best would be that, once we reach to that certain limit, that device would be able to uh, predict whether any woman is about to get attacked or not. So I think that would be the best if we can do that. But I don't know if that is possible. We could use the OpenAI's, the training program and maybe TensorFlow to train the super accurate model. But again, our client would be our smartphones. So maybe our clients are not that much powerful, or maybe the technology is not grown up to that much. But Rutik, this is good idea. If you want to, talk offline on this, then maybe we can connect. Uh, Anything from anyone else? Come on, guys, speak up. This is Saturday. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me. Okay. I have built Script Plus framework that performs your automation testing using AI. Oh, that seems interesting to me, Ashit. Do you mind sharing some insight about that framework? Like how it was built, what
Am I?
can we
Uh,
achieve with that?
I'm traveling, so I might have network issues, but let me know if the voice is breaking a lot. Then I'll type on the chat. But yeah, I built it for one of my clients where I'm working right now. And it is basically to reduce the effort of UI automation testing scripts right now we're doing for iOS and Android applications. So generally the test scripts are written in for APM framework. And
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a generic test case with help of a tester, and then I uh, developed this backend powered by AI in Python language, which is able to read the screenshot, find out is it an expected speed or not, and whatever expectations they have with the test framework, those are verified and posted. It gives the green flag or red flag. Test is a pass or fail, whether we are seeing something unexpected or whether we are missing something which was expected, and accordingly it registers certainly.
Uh, Ashit, I think there was a disturbance in between. I could not hear you properly. I
Okay,
just
fine. I
yeah, I was able to grasp that you have built this for to support Android and iOS application, but and then it was completely blank for me.
sorry, I will type on the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, should be fine. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop sharing my presentation page and we'll share my browser. So everyone, can you see my window? Okay. So, just a quick highlight of the Apple Intelligence. Uh, this is, the writing tools. So this could be used to enhance your writing, redraft your email, or you can, ask AI to draft something for you. Then image playground we already seen, Genmoji we already saw. We also saw the Siri with intents. And get ready. The Apple Intelligence is available in beta. So you can directly switch to your developer account. You can download Xcode 16.1 beta. It's not that much bulky, by the way. Now moving to some documentation here, okay? So this is the only documentation that I was able to pull up, and this is from July 2024. It means from the time when they had the WWDC presentations. So now the writing tools gonna be able to use some of the AI feature, but also without AI, you would be able to do something with the writing tools. Like you can integrate that with your text field or text editor to do the enhancement of the writer with the writing tools behavior API that is available with iOS 18. It allows us to disable or enable the automatic writing suggestions, or I would say the modifier. And you would, and I'm anticipating that we would be able to use this with AI also in future once the final version is rolled out. And then there are some certain information like UI kit can detect the new event taking place in the text view delegates, etc., etc. So this is just for the writing tools. Like it's a prototype for the developer support documentation. This field's gonna have something impact on AI. And then we have Genmoji. The Genmoji would be based on the NS adaptive image glyph. This is the new class integrated available in Xcode beta now. And then the Siri and the app intents. As I mentioned earlier on the presentation, app intents has been out since years, and now Siri and app intents would be able to leverage the AI. And the last point, it says core spotlight. I'm still not sure on this. It says that they would be able to use the disable semantic search, but I'm not sure how it's gonna take place. And then we got some bunch of the updates on the classes like accelerometer update, accessibility, and etc. etc. Moving on the second top, here Apple has given us some glimpse about Siri integration with Apple Intelligence. I would put all this link into the chat. So I'm skipping the theory. If you are new to the app intent framework, make sure you read this. This is very important. If you are not sure what app intent does, you need to understand this first before jumping into the AI with Siri. Now, with app intent, we will be able to use this API called assistant intent, assistant entity, and assist enum. So it means it will add capability to your application to have assistance from Siri. Again, this is just a theoretical overview. We don't have much source code in the details. Now let me jump into the code that is available. So with assistant intent, we have capability for giving command to my application for opening a gallery. So like if I want to have a feature that says, hey, open my gallery and select my recent selfie, then I should be able to do that with assistant intent. We just need to create a we just need to add assistant intent, and this is how your piece of chunk would look like. There would be target, there would be library, there would be navigation, and then on the main actor, I would say the main thread, it will do the performance. So based on your prompt, it will send request to the gallery, it will fetch the data, and then it will return to your application. That's how it should be able to do the job. But again, we don't have any information here which clearly states how it will work. It is all confusing to me, honestly speaking. And then this is just a configuration that you need to ensure your app entities and app enums conform to the schema. This is again like one more deep level for fetching your image. Like I could place some command saying that please bring me image of me sitting under the Eiffel Tower drinking the coffee. So all kind of prompt should be covered here. And this is just an impact of the impact integrating SS intents in your existing application. But I don't see this would be a problem to us. On the last, this is the last point that I wanted to cover, and this is most complex to me, or I would say it's most confusing. It says you would be able to use your camera with Siri and Apple Intelligence. But again, how, it's not clear. maybe in my best of knowledge, you will be able to, send some prompt to application saying that, hey, please click a picture of me. Or, maybe I can place my phone at the some table. I can use my watch and send commands to my application. And based on that, it could click picture for me. As of today, I can do the same. I just need to open my watch and, click on the capture button so that it will capture my image from the distant. But I'm expecting that we would be able to do that with the Siri and the intelligence without having any clear classification of the context. And to do that, we just need to, use assistant intent here also. And, this is the just prerequisite for that. Let me put all the links into the chat. I'm going to stop my sharing now for a bit. Xcode can drink now. I wonder when Xcode would be able to make drink for me. Okay, so Harshit has responded over chat. The framework is built in Python to help iOS
Is
and
it better
Android.
now? I think I have moved to better coverage.
Yes,
Is my
this is
voice
more
still
better.
breaking?
Yes, it's stable now.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's a framework which is built for Uber, for their automation engineers, and that automates that. So without writing script, you can actually test your test cases. And it is in Python. It has no relation with Apple Intelligence as of now. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I wanted to show.
Okay. Just one question: how it communicates with application? Like, it grabs
So
the data on the network layer.
no, so see, generally every test automation framework is written in either XCUI test case framework,
Hmm. Correct.
or people are using APM framework, right?
Correct.
So our client is using APM framework, and we develop just one test case, which is a generic test case. It will keep on calling our Python API, and it
Okay,
will
got
upload
it.
the screenshot and the XML, the view
Got it.
hierarchy,
So
or the storyboard.
no, it's fine. So is it like the APM is, taking source from your AI, and APM is
Correct.
then passing that to the Xcode, and that's how
No, no,
it is completing the training.
reverse of that. The APM itself is capturing the screenshot of whatever is appearing on the screen, and also capturing the XML which is behind that screen, uploading it to the server, which is running in Python. And that server has complete intelligence of everything, like what to do,
Mhm.
what not to do. It will guide it to tap on a button or insert some values in the text field, and based on that, it will perform the actions. And also, it will verify whatever. For example, if you tap on login screen with entering a wrong password, then it should show an alert, right? Okay, wrong password, right? If it doesn't show, then that is also get detected. If it shows correctly, then also gets detected. If it doesn't show, then it will show an assertion that, okay, you were supposed to show this kind of message, but it's not showing, so that's an assertion, that's an error. And if it works expectedly, then it will move ahead like that. So intelligence is moved in the backend, and we are using just one test case, a generic test case. It doesn't have any code specific to any test case. It's just a generic one, which is acting like a dumb client. It will always keep on uploading the screenshots and the XMLs which are being rendered on the screen.
I think this is pretty exciting. I have used the APM in past, but it was for the predefined script. We had the predefined data and we were using the same testing on the application every time.
Correct. Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
good. I was not aware whether APM is capable of supporting AI.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not capable of that. That's why we had to move that AI part into backend. So APM is just
uh,
like a client.
okay, I understand. So there is a workaround for that. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got to work around.
Okay. So
Just to have clear idea, like just you mentioned that if user will enter the wrong password, it should show the prompt or so where all these checks are done because you said that APM you have just one script which is uploading XMLs to the Python. So how do
Hmm.
you check all this? Just
So
to have
that
clear.
Python part is the actual brain behind the system. It is containing the AI-based algorithms which are comparing the images and also rendering the XML. So it's not user, but it's the script which is inserting the incorrect password or correct password. When it's inserting incorrect password, we know that it is supposed to show the error, and then we are expecting for the next screenshot which will be containing the error. But if we, I mean, when the backend, the Python, is getting that the new screenshot, and if it doesn't find that error, that means it's missing. So that's how we realize.
Okay, so all the checks which are supposed to be done in APM, you've done at Python end.
Correct.
Okay.
One more question on the same point. So Harshit, the Python, code that you are telling, it is built on the AI, okay? So it has
Mhm.
any pre-trained model available inside that, or it is just a mediator working with Python and the APM?
So the no, and Python is containing multiple models. For example, there are screenshot comparison models, MobileNet V2.
Mm-hmm.
There are model for comparing the XMS. There are vector comparison. So unsupervised learning model, which is built on Keras. And there are
Okay,
also models. For example, if you don't, for example, yesterday it was sign in button. Today our developer has changed it to login. So sign in, login, both of them mean the same. But
correct. You can
so
use
those
the
are,
language. You can use the
yeah.
language model for that.
So instead of using language model, we are using LLM. We consult LLM. Hey,
Hmm.
previously it used to come like this. Now it's coming like that. So can you please guide me what it is? Yeah, should I
Okay,
proceed on the button or should I
got it.
simply raise an assertion that this is wrong screen and break the flow? So yeah, so it's
I
combination of
understand.
model. It's not just one model, but yeah,
I think this is really good. The combination of models integrated with APM. I think it will definitely, increase your productivity.
exactly. I think so. We are right now still is in progress. It's not 100% mature, but it's able to help our teammates to reduce the test case that they are writing.
Okay.
Yep, there's a good insight. Thanks for sharing.
Okay. So I'm good now. I don't have any more item to present.
Before the wrapping this session, can we are request to everyone to start your camera so we capture the one picture together.
अरे बिल्कुल.
Yeah. And we request to Harshit for share your thought on LinkedIn group. So it really useful for everyone and really great thoughts. And thank you so much, Pulkit, for share your insights with us. So this is really appreciated. And thank you so much.
No, don't thank me. The honor is mine.
Yeah.
It was nice to connect with everyone. In this busy schedule of working 10 to 10, I'm sure every developers are working 10 to 10. So, getting time to do something and connecting with all the fellow developers, it was good.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye bye.
All.